Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Valhalla Esports Lounge. Vanessa Marie.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up? I am the founder CEO at Gaming Access Weekly.
Hi, I'm Ashe Zephyr. I'm one of the comm dev guys at Gaming Access Weekly.
Alrighty, we will be sharing a microphone because it is quite loud here, but nevertheless, we are excited to have them here because these two are actually very experienced in the esport world, and we're actually happy to hear from them. So myself, I do esport tournament production, that type of thing, and mostly I'm pretty new. It's been about a year that I've been into the esport world, and so I've got a lot to learn, and I know that a lot of people that are interested in seeing this type of thing also have a lot to learn. So, Vanessa, what do you think is the best way to start in the esport world?
I think the best way to start in esports is really defining what it is that you want to do. Realistically, when you look at the esports scene, people who play are a very small percentage of people who work in esports. When you look at these organizations, they are full-on businesses behind them. So you got to think about, what are your marketable skills? Are you going to be a shoutcaster? Are you going to work in marketing? Are you doing PR? Are you doing business development? Are you a graphic designer? I really think it's important to figure out what it is that you enjoy and that you're good at, and apply that to the esports just overall industry, because it all exists there.
And speaking of, knowing your talents in marketing, Gaming Access Weekly, you guys have a website, you guys cover a wide variety of things. Go ahead and step into what you guys cover.
Yeah, so at Gaming Access, we do gaming news, reviews, event coverage. We had a live stream. We're hoping to kick up our podcast into 2020. And we're really focused on being involved in the esports scene and the games industry locally and at a larger level. Do you have anything to add on the community side?
I just saw a guy drop his phone. I'm sorry. Yeah, so we also do a lot of community development stuff, especially on my team here. But what that looks like is engaging with an audience, finding that audience, finding out what they like to consume, creating content tailored to that, and then try to hit different demographics and get more and more people in.
Artie and Ashe, what are some of the obstacles that you think that the community faces whenever they're stepping into the esport world?
So the biggest thing I always see is people are always asking, how do I get in? Where do I get in? How can I be a part of the wave? And the biggest problem is, like Vanessa said earlier, find your skills, find your marketable skills, build those up, and then you can get a foot in the door. The two biggest ways that I always see, no matter what industry, esports or if you want to be in engineering or something, one way, networking. If you know someone, you're more likely to get in somewhere. You got to get your foot in the door somehow. The other way, if you know absolutely no one, which is the majority of the people, to be fair, build up some skills. People will hire you if they believe that you can perform what they want you to do. And if you don't have, in crazy educational certifications or something, which are kind of on the sparser side because esports is new, then make something along the lines of what you want to do. If you want to get into game dev, people usually start in QA and low-level playtesting. Know someone, and then you get up further in software development, and then you can be in game dev. If you want to do, marketing, like Vanessa, start her own website. Super cool. I wouldn't do that. I'm too lazy. But show that you can do the work, and someone will find you and seek you out for that work if it's good quality. That's it.
Yeah, and speaking of networking, we are here at Valhalla Esport Lounge. We're going to take a look out at the bar. We've got quite a few people here. There's been people going in and out today, but nevertheless, we're going to bring it back here into the interview set. Vanessa, please, if you will, touch on some of the history of Gaming Access Weekly and how you got into that, and how hard of a task was that for you?
Yeah, so Gaming Access started 7 years ago. I have been a pro player in the past, and with that came some notoriety, and one of my favorite things was to write. And I really wanted to write about video games, so I just started a blog. Out of nowhere, nobody was reading it, but I put it out on the internet because it was something that was satisfying for myself. And over time, I was playing Call of Duty with SRG, I was a frag doll with Ubisoft, I got a bit of notoriety and people started associating my website with myself. So it was really important for me to put out quality work, a lot of content, because we were growing in traffic. And over time, I started just hiring on my friends. I had one of my really good friends, Orlando, come on. He's our business development and our web developer now. And just slowly bringing on people that I knew and I trusted and giving people opportunities as well. We have several openings of the site, and we have really good opportunities to get your foot in the door at an entry level or a mid-level in the industry.
Come join us now. We have openings at the moment, so come join us.
Yes, please come join us. Esports opening is as well. So if anybody's interested in like esports journalism specifically, we have some spots for that. But it has been a task. Right now, we do have 25 people who are at the website, and it's fully functioning. We have a complete community development team. We had a stream team. We had podcasters. We have editorial and reviewers, we have news teams, so it's a lot of work and it's a lot of organization and it's a lot of just making sure that the wheels keep turning on a daily basis. But the industry is constantly moving, it's constantly going. We get new announcements every day, so we get updates, so it's something that's really easy for us to just tap into and cover.
You mentioned that you guys have been doing this, you specifically have been at this for 7 years with Gaming Access Weekly. What are some of the hardships that you went through to, sustain this and to keep it going?
Yeah, so nobody told me early on that it cost a lot of money. Yeah, so starting a website for the first 2 years, we weren't profitable. It's been, it was a little bit of an out-of-pocket situation, and it's always been a bit of an out-of-pocket situation where you're trying to put out tons of content, but also have a lot of people at the website. And it can get kind of difficult to finding those people who are willing to contribute, to volunteer their time, to go to events, to really just be involved in the site. I think another thing that was kind of difficult and something that I didn't know like early on was just the amount of work that it was going to take. This started as a blog. I never anticipated it was going to get as big as it is, but it grew, and you go through those growing pains where you realize, okay, I can't compete with Kotaku, Polygon, GameSpot, like I just can't. We're a mid-level website, and we got to figure out like what works for our audience, what works for our team, and what works specifically for us. So we were able to overcome a lot of those challenges. Even to this day, we're adjusting and we're hiring and we're bringing on new voices and opinions and ideas, and are constantly evolving as a site. That it's an ongoing, it's an ongoing challenge.
Okay, and you guys mentioned that one of the positions is an esport journalist. What exactly does an esport journalist do? I'm curious.
So, esports journalism can be a couple of different things. So there can be an editorial writer. So if you have an opinion on an esports topic, a person, a genre, writing long-form editorials about that is really cool, and it does really well. We have event reporters, so people who go to events, at whatever event that is, whatever you're interested in. If you're into the FGC scene, go to an event, write about it, report on the games, report on the stats. That's what that looks like. And then we also have our daily news writers. So as in every other aspect of games, there's news that happens in the esports scene specifically every single day. So we need people to cover that news and really be in tune with what's happening across the esports industry outside of the games industry, because it is very much its own space. Do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so the back end of esports seems like this kind of miasma of uncertainty, but if you look at football or any other traditional sport, it's much similar. They've got news folks who cover the games. They got people who follow the players around, whether they get traded from team to team, new coaches get hired on and fired off. That's all covered. Everything on a football back end would be on the same thing for an esports back end.
And I find that interesting because my background is in news. I've been a news director for 6 years, and I still currently do so at KBTX Media. And one of the biggest things that we cover is Texas A&M. We, go full coverage of, football and basketball, baseball, volleyball, women's, men's basketball, the whole shebang. And so there is a lot to it. I mean, like you said, there's coaching changes, there's player changes, players transfer, people enter the transfer portal. Nobody knows what they're gonna, where they're gonna go, where they're gonna end up, and so, yeah, there's a lot of speculation out there, and finding people to, put that into something that makes sense, and say it's on a blog form or in a podcast, or for instance on your guys' website, Gaming Access Weekly. It's something that is needed in the industry, and the more quality content that I feel that we can put out into the esport world, the bigger the esports is going to be, and I feel like that's the goal, especially for all of us. We actually really care about this. I'm sure you guys do too, and so it's something, maybe a little bit, it's something that goes overlooked a lot of times. It's quality content. I heard you mention quality content earlier. What do you think the best way to make quality content is?
I think being really in tune with what's going on in the industry as a whole. Also having very well educated and well thought out opinions in your editorial pieces makes really good quality content. And people who are willing to put in the time and the research to understand a situation, a topic, a player, a person, and really get into what makes them tick and what makes this topic relevant to our industry makes really good content.
Absolutely. Yeah, so let me be real with you. People got a lot of hot takes, left and right. Hot takes for miles. But writing for esports and writing about esports or anything in the game industry, honestly, it's like a hot take, but you've done the research to back it up. That's it. It's not much harder than that. You just got to know your stuff. Easy.
Alrighty, so once again, this is Ashe Zephyr. He's a community developer. What is the main part of your job? What does that consist of?
So we have sort of a combined function with community and social. So a lot of my job is interacting and creating the social posts for all the content created on the websites by our writers. On top of that, we try to liaise with any community members that may, have comments or want to engage in discourse. And part of that job is also encouraging that kind of discourse. So we'll put posts out there that encourage people to talk about esports or whatever topic or whatever article we put out, to say anything about it. Because once we have that one comment in, then it becomes a conversation. So someone else is going to respond, and it's just a waterfall effect right there.
Very nice. Now, Vanessa, how can we, if people are interested in GamingAccessWeekly.com, but first and foremost, that's where we can find you guys. If people want to talk to you or, just bounce ideas or whatever, where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can visit us at GamingAccessWeekly.com. We do have a contact page where we're happy to hear your feedback, your ideas, your thoughts. If you're interested in applying at the website, we have an opportunities page there. For me specifically, I can be reached at Vanessa at GamingAccessWeekly.com. I am on Twitter at VREX7. I would say I do most of my communications via Twitter, so that's the best place to find me.
Alrighty, now, shout out to my wife. She's a communications major. And one thing I know that we want to talk about was public relations. So, in the esport world, almost 100% of what people know about you is, it's out in the public. It's not necessarily face-to-face in most situations. So, what do you think the keys are to having good PR in the esport world?
Ideally, it's having really good representation. So people who work in PR, who understand the game space, who understand the esports space, who know who the game changers and the people who are going to write about you are. I think first and foremost, that's like the most important. Also, having a story about yourself. If you're going to be in esports or you're covering anything in esports, finding the story. What does that comeback kid look like? What is the kid who was just a sophomore who's now our Fortnite hero? What is that story? It's building stories, and that's what PR is. It's all about building stories, making people interesting, getting information out there in a way that's interesting.
You're speaking on, finding that great story. What are some of the good stories? What are some of the moments that you're most proud of for Gaming Access Weekly?
Oh man, I would say just finding the right people. We take a lot of time to find people who are really good personality matches for everybody else on the website. We like to have fun. We kind of rib on each other. We go to events together and we get to meet each other in person. It's just the same as our Discord where we're just kind of like having a good time, sharing memes, talking. at the end of the day, we trust and hire people we know can do the job, but the job is almost secondary to the people that we have at the site. It really is about making friendships, building relationships with those people, going to events, knowing that y'all have to work together and you have to get along, and we do. Yeah. What about for you?
Yeah. I mean, on top of that, you also have to be able to perform at your perform your function adequately, I'll say, which everyone does. And I like to think all of our writers go above and beyond, honestly.
All are adequate.
Yeah. Everyone is adequate. That's the performance review. No, they're so good. They're such good people. And on top of that, they write amazing content. They can create content consistently, which is a key factor to keeping a good writer. Because I tried. I'm not a good writer. I hate my writing. I think it's awful. So I'll stick to my social and comm dev side.
All right, you guys focus on esports. What do you guys play? What do you guys do?
Oh man, right now I'm still playing a ton of PUBG. Like, just the most PUBG. It's really bad. I need to find a new game. I'm getting Modern Warfare for Christmas, so I'm really excited about that. And that's just kind of been my thing lately. I feel like I haven't found that one game that really just like resonates with me or gives me. The one thing I loved about PUBG was the interaction that I had with my friends. So I got back into Destiny 2, but I'm still not getting that, like, I want to play with my friends and just, like, enjoy it.
I think that's the same thing for me, is the game so much doesn't matter as much as it is playing with the right people. Lately I've been playing a lot of Apex, which I'm a big Apex guy. I love Titanfall 2 and I love Apex. It's fast action, fast-paced FPS is great. But really what makes it for me is my two squad mates. Teaming up with them and jumping into Apex, whether we win or lose, that's where the fun is. And we're going to start up on the Halo collection coming out with everything. That's going to be a whole lot of fun. And then that's just it. This is having good friends is what makes the game for me.
Absolutely, and once again, networking, a huge part of the esports. We're here once again here at Valhalla Esport Lounge. That's 710B West 6th Street here in Austin, Texas. This is the look of the bar right now. Once again, everybody that's here, we appreciate you coming out. Make sure to tip your bartender, order some food. There's a lot of great food here. I've heard a lot of great things about the pizza, the wings, and all kinds of stuff.
Mozzarella sticks.
Those things are the best. You gotta get the mozzarella.
I'm gonna have to get me some mozzarella sticks. That sounds delicious. All right, you guys, any last thoughts that you guys want to say?
Yeah, no, we just want to say thanks to Valhalla for hosting these types of events. These types of events are crucial to the esports scene in Austin specifically, but on a larger level as well. It's really important for anybody who's interested in getting into the space to really tune in, to come out to events. Like we said earlier, networking is a huge part of working in the games industry in any capacity. So find your local groups, go on Facebook, find those groups, see who's doing events, and go out. Just say hi, grab a drink, grab some food. No pressure to like be anything other than who you are. So, yeah. What about you? Anything else?
I don't think I have much to add to that. Just don't be afraid to come out and be social. That's it. Just meet some people who have similar interests. We're all friends. We're all nerds. We all came from somewhere that was in a room locked away in the dark for 12 hours playing Halo 3 on Legendary and hating yourself.
Today, but I'm here now.
Yeah, exactly. But just find like-minded individuals and have fun in the esports world. Get more connected. That's it.
Alrighty, once again, big thank you to Vanessa Marie. She's the founder of GamingAccessWeekly.com. One more time, go ahead and plug your socials and everything that you can.
Yeah, so we are at GA Weekly on Twitter. Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at GA Weekly, and on Facebook at Gaming Access Weekly. You can catch me on Mixer. It's mixer.tv. TV. Oh my God, no, that's Twitch. I lied. It's mixer.com.
There you go.
/VREC7, and on Twitter, VREC7.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter. It's mainly where I'm active, at Zephyr KIIITV. And I'm also a shoutcaster, so catch me at some matches.
Hire him for matches.
Yeah, hire me for some matches. I'm good.
Yeah, so real quick, let me add to that. I do a lot of esport production, and I focus on Halo. You've mentioned that you like Halo, right? You ever thought about doing some shoutcasting for Halo?
Absolutely, yeah. I would love the more opportunities I have to get into different games, the better. And FPS games especially, that's my jam. That's where I came from. So, absolutely.
Alrighty, maybe we'll give him a chance to try out maybe a little later. I'll play some Halo, and then he'll be able to shoutcast over, give him a little tryout, see how he does. All right, once again, thank you to Vanessa and Ashe. I really appreciate you guys coming out and, speaking with us today. We're going to step away for a moment. We're going to figure out who we're going to talk to next, and then we'll be right back. Thank you, everybody.